All right, good morning. Exactly 11:30 a.m. on the clock. It's another terrific Tuesday, if I'm correct. It is, of course, your number one talk radio station, Lagos Talks 91.3. As always, my name is Paula Chine, aka the Big P, not the small one. And I'm here with amazing guests. Now, as always, on Tuesdays, and the sad part is the intro. There's a part of the intro I wish it could pass over me. But I'm here with the most recent evictees from Big Brother Bbnaija Season 9, No Lose Guard season. Yeah. I'm here with, of course, Hanni.
Hello.
I'm here with Sean.
Hello.
And TJ.
Hello.
For some reason, Sean, you've been painfully quiet. What's going on?
No.
Yeah, coming out of the house, has it been such a rush for you, seeing all of the reactions? You know, the sensation online.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Like, knowing that people actually love you for just watching you for 8 weeks is like crazy. How people can like fall in love with your personality and who you are. And then the back-to-back media rounds has been like tiring and draining, to be honest. I won't lie.
But Hanni, when you say people are falling in love with you, people have always known you and your sister, right?
Yeah,
Hanni and Wanie.
kind of. Yeah,
Hanni x Wanie, right?
Yeah, Wanie x Hanni. Yeah,
and you guys are amazing. Aside being twins, you seem to do everything in harmony.
Yeah,
girl, thank you. You give us hope. But let's talk about your time in the house. Now, we saw you go in there with your sister, this unbreakable bond. But of course, she found love and things changed. But the beauty is she never left you out of it.
No, she never did.
However, unfortunately, people may have been expecting that you would back out, which I thought was absurd because you're twins and you're used to doing everything together. But just seeing that people expected you to be like on your own and your sister with Sean, how did you feel? Did you feel threatened at some point?
No, I didn't, because a lot of people were saying I should have been on my own, but I don't know what was portrayed out there, but I was on my own a lot of times. Maybe when I'm always with them, they get to show that a lot, so you guys will always think that I'm with them most of the time, but I get times where I'm doing my own thing and I'm doing my own thing, and like Sean and Wanie didn't mind, and Sean and Wanie will always tell me, "Don't you come around more? I think you guys you don't even like." So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll try my best, but then it's all good. Yeah, I'll try my best, but then it's all good. I love Sean as a friend. Wanie's the love of my life, so it was always so amazing being the two of them. I don't care what anybody has to say about that, to be honest.
I like that. Period. You forgot to put period.
Period. Point blank.
All right, let's talk about this now. Hanni, I know that you didn't really start anything with anyone, but let's have it. Who did you have your eyes on? Who did you have a crush on that you felt, oh, this guy's cute and I like being around him?
To be fair, at first when I came to the house, Toffa was cute, but then when I had a conversation with him, it was just like, I don't think it was going to go any further than that. Yeah, no longer cute, but like
you just knew it wasn't.
No, it wasn't
thing.
going to like go further than that. But then nobody else in the house caught my eye, so I was just like on my own. I just did my day for the house. That's just all it was, basically.
Let's talk about the house now. We saw you fall out with Ruthie.
Yeah,
and I will tell you, she came here. She's not the worst of people, and it was kind of like on screen. A lot of people who didn't understand would not see it as both of you standing up for one another. They saw it like a gang up. You're out of the house. I'm always one to push for peace. I'm not here to advise you. Do you see yourself mending that broken bridge?
I don't know. The thing with this life is forgiveness is key to move forward in life, and in as much as she did said a lot of lies that it was crazy to me, but then I'm like, this life is only one life. It's like this life is very short. You don't know when something is going to end and when one person will go, the other person will go. So forgiveness is always on the table. It's always an option for Wanie and I.
You mentioned having a feeling you might be leaving the house.
Yes.
How? Was it premonition?
It wasn't. But to be honest, I thought I was going to get to final. But that day, I don't know why, I just felt it that it could be my last time in the house. And I always prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. So if the worst comes, I'm like, okay, I'm fine with it. I've made my peace with it. So it was like that. I prepared for the worst. And when it happened, it was like, okay, fine.
Because it seemed like your eviction didn't hit you hard.
No, because I was prepared for it. But I went to a big in that room. I'm like, I think TJ and I will leave tonight. So when he came, it was like, okay, it happened. So let's just go.
Oh, TJ, sorry. Sorry for being such an amazing friend.
The funny thing was, I predicted the same thing.
So is this like a spiritual WhatsApp group? But let's talk about you, Dr. TJ. Now, we saw the TJ, and congratulations on the twins.
Thank you very much.
I tapped into it.
Yeah.
Now, we all saw you blossom, go from being just an amazing friend and a husband and a doctor to being a dad. How was your time in the house, being away from family, being away from what you're used to, like a medical setting, maybe a more sober setting?
Yeah. So like I told Sean and Hanni at a point, like initially when I got into the house, I did struggle a bit with some imposter syndrome. So so I'm not used to being with so many outgoing characters at the same time. In fact, in my clique of friends at home, I'm actually the loudest. So it took a bit of adjusting initially to, by the time, when they start talking about all this, their club stuff, 1942, Azul, Casamigos, Ace of Spades, how they went to Zazas and all that. I'm always like,
where do I come in? How do I tell people that I gave someone 7 injections?
You get, but I'm happy eventually the house did value my contributions.
Oh, nice.
And I was able to contribute quite a lot in terms of creativity, tasks, wages, bringing in a lot of creative ideas into helping the house.
So TJ, if I must chip in, a lot of people saw you coming with Ben, but Ben left before you, and everyone's like, how did that work? You seem to be the guy who was cool with everyone. You basically just adapted, and you were kind of a peacemaker. But then we saw you make a statement about, if I'm correct, Maya Frosh and what's that? Toby
Forge.
Yeah, Toby Forge. I beg you.
Yeah.
Yes, and a lot of people felt like, were you mad at him? Did you hate him? It was kind of like you hinted some kind of stuff about tribalism, if I'm correct. What was that about? Just for clarity's sake.
So basically, when I came in, the tribalism stuff came. The statement I made was that I felt the Bbnaija twins were close to the Igbos in the house, were more close. So that's what so Ebuka said. I made a comment that was probably tribalistic based, but what I meant was I thought that was their strategy.
To form alliances with the Igbos. With Bbnaija, right?
Yeah, exactly. So this was how that story went. So I actually really did like all the Igbos in the house because they were actually cool, and my closest friends were even the Igbos. So when the Bbnaija went, I love them so much. In fact, I love Nne so much. She's one of my. I think we're really going to have a conversation later. Not you and I, but Nne and I.
I can't be near you.
Yeah,
she's your sister in the Lord.
Yeah, she's my sister in the Lord. Yeah, but she's quite intelligent and quite an amazing lady. So I was close to them, and when they left, I was like, "What?" So that's why I went to Mayor Frush and Toby Forge to talk about. So I was like, why would you do this at this time?
You felt that their decision was based on tribalism, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, this is going to really backfire and hurt the game, because these guys are one of the guys that are close to the Bbnaija twins and all that. And why did you take them out? That's how it's going to be interpreted. So Mayor Fresh told me then, okay, so what would you have done? I was like, I know you're Ruthie's guy, but you could have probably maybe taken out Zinwe and then explained to that conversation. So what happened was, and then explained to Ruthie. So so that I think that statement was taken out of context, and then Mayor Toby Forge probably told Ruthie and Zinwe then. So I was like, why would you go and do that? Like, so that was basically why I said, like,
you felt it wasn't very kind of them.
Exactly. So so basically and eventually I got close to the Bbnaija twins. We're like brothers now. So
so they're uncles, and I mean, you have their nephews.
Yeah. Matter of fact, they're even going to be my wife has agreed that they will be the godfathers of my
Lord,
kids.
Is this space for a godmom? Like half of a godmom. I'm not the very nice godmom, but the days they see me, they'll like me.
I'll just keep mum about that.
Okay, good. But okay, TJ, now we saw you evolve. We saw you slowly open up like a flower. You went from that guy who would stand in the corner and observe to see if people had like maybe medical conditions. I'm joking.
Exactly.
Or just, and then slowly we saw you come out of that shell, party, have fun, try to make your opinion known in a calm manner. But for you, what was that experience like? What are you taking away from it? Are you going to go back to being Dr. TJ, or you just might be that entertainment doctor?
So I'm trying to see how I can merge both. Actually, that was my aim in the experiment, to come in and basically express the parts of me that I felt were dormant, like my acting side, my extroverted side.
Oh, okay.
And things that like my artistic side. So that's really what I came to do, and to put that out there. I'm glad that I did get a very good reception. I honestly am surprised, to be fair, but
you all did.
Yeah,
you all did well.
So I'm happy. Yeah, to be onwards and upwards from here, like I always say. So I'm going to try and delve into acting. I will still do medicine, possibly part-time, and then obviously the voice of artistry is also something a lot of people have said you can try.
Don't come for our work. But okay, thank you so much. Amazing.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Sean,
hi,
how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
You seem calm. Well, you were calm in the house, but
sometimes.
How was it? God bless you. But I mean, nothing chaotic. But how are you doing, Sean?
Yeah, I'm okay. I feel good. Just
okay.
tired. I think. Sorry, I think just like the waking up early, media rounds.
And then you're just coming out to the real world, trying to reconcile all of
again,
that. Yeah. But let's talk about your time in the house. We saw you go in with Victoria. It was Shatoria.
Yeah.
How was it like going in with Victoria? You were friends before then, right? Like, were you very great friends?
Yeah, we were just like we were good friends. It wasn't like she wasn't my best friend.
Right.
I've known her under 3 years. I've known people longer, so.
Yeah, but she's just cool. You're cool with her.
Yeah, we're cool. Had no issues or anything like that per se.
Not to like provoke you, but some people felt like when you got in the house, which is normal. I will pray for a man to pay more attention to me than his friends. Sorry, guys, but people felt like you weren't as close to Victoria, and that's why I asked how close you were prior to getting into the house. And people felt like you focused on building something beautiful, which we all loved with Wanie. What was it like for you? Did you ever feel that disconnect, that discord between you and Victoria?
Yeah, I think we had a few arguments before we came in. So when I think that added, on my end anyways, that added to like
the detachment.
But it wasn't intentional. So because we knew we were there for a game and we were there as a duo, so we still have to do what we need to do. Like we had no beef or nothing like that. I'm sure she probably doesn't even really know the full extent, because in the beginning I kind of like internalized a lot of things sometimes. So, I mean, so when we came in, it wasn't like we spoken about, and you were good.
You were good,
heart,
but
I was still kind of carrying like
just tiny grudges, but nothing unhealthy.
Nothing. Yeah, exactly. Just normal stuff when you fall out with someone, you have arguments or whatever. And obviously, we're now coming into a game that we have to compete for. And the first 3 weeks was about the custodian, which is basically your housemates they have like your future in their hands. It wasn't down to the public. Do you know what I mean? So I knew that I had to build relationships with people.
Yeah, you couldn't stay in that cocoon with just Victoria.
Yeah, and obviously she struggled the first 2 weeks. So I knew that if I also went there and
you
I was
would have
struggled,
struggled, yes.
We might have been out of the house before we know it. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't necessarily intentional. Like she's a good girl. I mean, she has a good heart, so it wasn't like.
You're a good guy too. All right. We all try. Now, Sean, let's talk about you and Wanie. Not like that was everything about you in the house, but like there was a day I sat down, this I saw, and she was complaining about feeling like you were trying to change her, and in your defense, you were trying to correct some things you felt were not right. Now, you know that Wanie X Hanni, they're outgoing, they're happy, they're the life of the party, the electrical live wires. And maybe she just felt like you were trying to box her into some place, like you had a vision of what she should be, but that wasn't what she wanted. How did you feel at that point? Because she was ready to like just breathe for a moment, give you space, but you could tell that both of you cared about one another. What was going through your mind all of those times?
I mean, I don't think she maybe expressed it to me in the way you did per se, so maybe on the outside she might clarify, but I think there were times when I just didn't want her to be in a certain light. Like she's very,
because you cared about her, you didn't want her portraying.
But yeah, I just think it's not necessarily the best way to portray yourself, especially if you want to kind of grow from your past. If you like been like this in your past and you know that you need to evolve from it, then why kind of like dwell in the negative things about yourself? Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes you can be.
Do you think that's going to be an issue with your relationship, knowing that she's an outgoing person, she's in the industry, the media industry, entertainment, I beg your pardon, and she has to keep up with that persona, the energy. Do you think in the long run, I'm hoping like there's a future to what you had, might he come in the way of things? Might he get in the way of things?
I want her to just be herself, and if we naturally don't gel on the outside, maybe because of whatever particular reasons, I think I'm fine with that. I think she'll be okay with it. It will be no bad blood or anything like that. I don't want it to feel like, because that's how people build resentment. When they feel like they're not being themselves and they kind of.
Don't worry, it's gonna grow from here. Let's not look at that picture. But Sean, away from that, who are you? What are you about? People didn't see much of you. We saw the part you wanted us to see. You weren't the most vulnerable. So who's Sean? Yeah. What are you about?
I think maybe in the house with me, I realize I'm a lot more. I take things more personal than I realize. Sometimes, but. I think for the most part, that's actually how I am. Like I'm just straightforward. Yeah, I'm a Scorpio.
The Grudges Center.
And like I'm an October Scorpio, not even a November one. But
I'm an October Scorpio.
Really? What day?
25th.
Okay, on my 29th. So.
But come on, I'm very easy. I used to be like that when I was younger,
really?
But like my mom had to tell me like you can't walk around with this kind of energy. It was doing bad for me.
Yes, so, maybe something that would probably make my grow out of, or
you will
with time.
With time,
maybe with having a family, might feel differently about things that how I see life. Things change.
Or maybe, hopefully, Wanie can add to that, because I see Wanie is full of like life and optimism.
She's full of life, for sure.
Yeah, so you could do with a lot of that.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you. Hopefully, now you're outside of the house. What are you looking to pursue? I know TJ wants to go into the world of entertainment, acting. I know that Hanni is going to be doing what she's doing, but on a bigger scale. You're going to be doing everything, not just partying, endorsements, collaborations, putting out nice mixtapes. Definitely. What are you going to be up to, Sean?
Definitely like acting.
Okay.
Yeah, I will have a clothing line as well that I want to push as well.
Okay.
This stuff in the entertainment that's more tailored to me. I'm not going to be going for just anything, but things that are tailored to me. So mainly like acting.
Okay, that's amazing. Now you're outside of the house. I want to ask all you three, what are we going to be expecting? Ladies first. Hanni, are you waiting for Wanie, or you're just going to start working right away?
I'm going to be putting out all my media rounds, but in the aspect of working, I'm going to wait for Wanie. When she comes out, we're going to be go at work. But it's definitely Wanie X Hanni, like you said earlier, pushing Wanie X Hanni on a larger scale, doing our African tour next year, and just big things coming by the grace of God.
Okay, we hope we get an invite to the party.
Sure.
All right, TJ, Dr. TJ.
Yeah, so for me, I'm actually, like I say, I need to obviously reunite with my family as quick as possible. I've been seeing the twins, and I'm happy they look like me. They're doing great, by the way. So,
they might just look like mom eventually, but go on.
No, you're actually true. So this is the same.
Faces.
I'm telling you, I did have I have a daughter, and that's the same thing that happened initially. She looks like me, and now she looks like a carbon copy of her mom. So yeah, hopefully, though, I'm looking for my guys.
If I'm not their godmother, they will look like their mom.
You people,
I'm telling you, there's just beauty in that. But TJ, big ups, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Sean, what about you?
What?
Are we going to see more of, Sean? Are we going to see the part of Sean we didn't see? Maybe the livelier,
I mean, you're going to see some
more
things
vulnerable?
Like my fashion. There's definitely
no,
stuff
Sean, leave your project, your personality. Are we going to see more of that?
You see that. I think it's inevitable. I kind of speak my mind all the time. So
yeah,
that's
great.
Probably something I wouldn't stop.
All right. I wish you all the best. You all were amazing.
Thank you so much.
Should I use like a word? Let me give you one word. I haven't done this with any of the rest of them. Yeah. If I'm to throw one word at you, I will say, with your sister, Fireball.
Thank you.
That's not a bad thing. Fire powers things. It brings life. TJ, I will say, the creep on. He creeps on you. You don't see him coming, but he grows on you. Oh, let me just know. The creep on is a bad word. Let me say, maybe the flower. He opens up their layers.
Thank you.
And for Sean will be smoky screens. You never know what that's. I hope I did justice, but thank you. Before we round things up, thank you. It's been amazing talking to you. I hope it's been fine since you came out of the house. For those who might want to keep up with you, follow you, just support you in their own little way, your fans, how can they check you out? Social media, websites, anything you're up to, can you just kindly make it known?
Yes, my personal handle is Handy_Twinny, and for our joint page is Wanie X Hanni on all platforms.
All right.
For me, it's TJ, that's TJAY_official on all platforms.
All right.
And Sean Okoje, SHAUN on all platforms.
All right. I wish you the best, and make sure you do not, kind of like, don't undermine things. You're going to get opportunities. Some of them might not be the best. Some of them might look like, you should pass over. But I think like you should make the best use of this time.
Thank you so much.
Do everything you can. Keep pushing. The world will be fine. If they don't like you, too bad. In the meantime, guys, one thing I know you like is your number one talk radio station, which happens to be Lagos Talks. Kindly ensure you're following us, checking us out across all social media platforms. Our handle, it remains one and the same, at Lagos Talks 913. That is the handle. My name is Paula China. You can reach out to me if the need be on Instagram. My handle is at the Big P. The Big P is spelled TheBiigp. All right, guys, we're going to take a break, hug things out, take pictures, and I'll be back. Do not go anywhere.